Flosstube. This is Barb with Lost in Floss. This channel is primarily about cross stitch, but every once in a while you're going to have some other things thrown in. It's Friday, December 19th, so we're inching up on Christmas. We have neighbors that we've been friends with for years and years coming over tonight, so it's always a nice way to celebrate the season. And honestly, we hardly, well, I see some of the ladies to walk with, but we hardly see the rest of them, like except for maybe once a year. So really looking forward to that. Somewhat organized. If I look tired, I was up till 2 in the morning finishing up my cutout cookies. And part of that time was cleaning up all the dishes. I just, I'm not like, I could go to bed without doing them, but I've learned over the years that it's just so much more appealing to walk down those steps and see all that stuff cleaned up. I've got lots of exciting things to show you today, and not too much stitching. I was working furiously on my gift exchange item. I ran into some issues. Well, to begin with, I had 2 rounds of guests for brunch lunch earlier in the month, and so was kind of focused on that. And so I thought, well, I knew I could finish this object in, I was just going to make a little pillow, Oh Dear by Scarlet House, and I knew I could finish it like in a week, which is what I had. So I started stitching, and I was stitching on weeks linen, and it was a darker, really pretty color, but it was really hard for me to see, even though it wasn't like a black or anything. It was a mottled brown. So I was having to stitch through my magnifier, and that wasn't going well. Well, I think it was Sunday night, I discovered what I thought was my even weave was not even at all. I think it was like, and I'll insert a picture here. It was maybe 1.5 inches off, and it's just this little, I don't know if it's 90 by 90, something like that. Not huge, but I'm like, holy cow. So at that point, I'm like, there was no way I would finish it that way. So I had to haul out another piece of linen, and thank you, Donna, for gifting me Jean's piece of 40 count vintage country mocha, because that's what I went to, and stitching it was pretty much a breeze. Other than like I stitched and stitched and stitched, and it was like I was stitching quite a bit. And I think because I was probably overcounting all the time. Someone gave me the tip that they go through and run a copy of their chart and then count every little, if the design goes like this. And I can see the advantage, because I wanted to make sure my border met up, and it did, but I think too much counting. So I finished, our exchange was on a Thursday. I finished that at stitching Wednesday night at 10:30, got up in the morning and made it into a pillow, and I will put it here. I converted it to a little bit warmer colors, and I love how it turned out, and Margot loved how it turned out, and all was good with the world. We had a great exchange. I will include pictures here of our exchange items. Just some talented women, and interesting finishes, and it just was a fun afternoon. But anyways, Linda had my name, and to begin with, she stitched, well, I'll show you what she gifted me. This Hornbook alphabet from Needlework Press. And so you stitch that on paper, and then she gave me the little wooden board that it goes on. So I look forward to doing that. And then she stitched me this beautiful drum that she finished herself, and she put my initial, Blackbird, it's a Blackbird chart, and her initial. And then it goes on this little stand. So I can't wait to put that out. And it's nice because it is year round. Right, Lisa? So, okay. So that was fun. Most of you have heard me whining about this for 2.5 years. Well, if you've known me, I've been complaining about stockings the whole time I've been on Lost and Floss. But, da-da-da, I got my son-in-law's stocking done. And I also recorded an updated tutorial of how to finish a stocking. My last one was a little bit helter-skelter, but I think I'm going to leave that one up because people still find it really helpful. And I've had a number of people, since I put it out there, who tell me that it was very easy to follow and they had great success. So I just love this. This is up on the rooftop. It's a Dimensions Gold kit, which is it's an old kit. You'd have to get it on eBay and pay a lot. The number of times I stitched the name Adam is unbelievable. And I kept saying to my daughter, good thing you married an Adam and not a Christopher. Because it was easy to rip out. But it also made it challenging. I needed a font that filled up that space. And thank you to whoever made the suggestion to use the lighter blue with some sparkle in it, because I think it really does pull in. So, and when we went to Country Sampler, my friend Ann and a woman at the store helped me pick out this backing, which I just love for this. It was kind of a tricky one. All right, before I forget, I made some project bags. These are not the best ones. In fact, like the two duds I'm gonna just keep for myself. Well, so I love this Teresa Kogut print, but I feel like I need to do the type where it's not the vinyl, because I think that would be better. But anyways, I'm going to send one of these bags to one of you. So I think to make it easier, why don't you send me, send me an email this time. Flosstube, the number 2, @gmail.com. And just tell me if you would like the light print or the dark print. And then once I pick the winner, then I will ask for your address. So this is the light print. Love this. And then this is the dark print. And I also love this one. They're both really cute. So, yeah, and let's see. I won't be recording until after the new year, I'm sure. So you have, let's say you have for sure till January 2nd. So if you watch this video between the holidays, no problem. You'll be able to enter the drawing. So I love to be able to give back to people who watch and share and are awesome. All right, then we have some finishes that I'd like to show you. First up, is a Stacy Nash Mary pin keep? Is this supposed to be a pin keep? Huh. Let's see. Yeah, I get. Okay. I never knew that. But I picked this up from the framer and I couldn't be happier with this. Now, I have to give total credit to my friend Beth because she stitched this last year and picked out this frame. And when I saw it, I'm like, that's exactly how I'm going to do mine. Oh, and wait, I mentioned Beth. Hi, Dave. Yes, she really is famous. We have fun with that. So anyways, that's one of my finishes for this year, and I love it. Oh, and when I was talking about, oh dear, what I stitched for my gift exchange, this is the piece. So I'll maybe insert a picture here again too. And, oh, yeah, pinky. I'm thinking drum. Like, can you tell I was up till 2 a.m.? Okay, so this is the chart I just showed you. Alrighty, then this one is, these are hot off the press. I've been like up in my sewing room watching Christmas movies and trying to do some finishing. So I don't have one of the charts, but I have a couple Prairie Schooler ornaments done. 2025 Santa. And I stitched mine on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana 1/1. And then this is the one that I started in Portugal, I know. 1992 Prairie Schooler Santa. Let's get that one out. I love him with the fish. And then I have the Partridge in a Pear Tree. He is 2001. And then I know I have this guy's. Oh, I'm looking down. What was this? 2000. Is this 2019? But the timepiece one. So now I can hang those on my tree. In addition, I fully finished the Ruveris strawberries. I don't know. I just got the PDF. I don't know if they really have a name. And I think it was Ruth stitched these for the Farm Girl gift exchange, and I saw them and I stole them from someone, even though I knew I would not get to keep them. And I went home from the retreat and I ordered them ASAP, but I didn't get them stitched right away. I can't remember which one I had done before. Well, I'll just show them all to you. This one's the Jingle Bells. They're just so cute. And just some buttons and strawberry on top. This is Bright. And this is Noel. I think this is the first one I did. I do not like finishing strawberries at all. So, and because I couldn't use the template, and that kind of bugged me. But this is the most recent finish, and I'm like kind of amazed by it. Because this wasn't what I was setting out to do with it. I was looking for a frame. This is Carriage House Samplings, 1999 Christmas sampler. Once again, I was stitching on black and not really having a good time. I don't know if I have. Oh, and Mary Mary Pinky by Stitched on 36 Count Winter Brew. I don't know. I don't know what it was. But this is the chart. And I just saw. Still have my Goodwill tag on it. So I found this box. And I thought, like, the size of this couldn't have been better. So basically all I did was I took a piece of mat board, put some Warm and Natural over it, and then on this one I just used double-sided tape because I'm like, you know, it's good enough. But look at this ribbon I had. I mean, doesn't that just match? But you think this is just a box. Well, it kind of is. But the cool thing about it is it's also a stand. Oh. And I see from the back, maybe I should put some scrap paper on the back of that. Doesn't look very pretty, but isn't that cool? And the final finishes I have, I had finished these stitching going back quite a way. So 2019. And these are all like special edition Prairie Schoolers. I think Leanne had decided to stitch a couple of them to hang them together, and I'm like, that's an awesome idea. So I did this one in 2023, and I just ordered, like every year I thought, how am I going to frame these? And then this year I'm like, I am just ordering the frames and putting them up. And this is 2024, and I have another one started that I don't know if I'll get it done before the year end, but I think I'm going to try just so that I could have them all up and out of the way and counted as finished items. After this video, I'm going to show just a quick run through of my decorations. I try to do that every year for your inspiration. So, and now it's time to show you the few things that I've been stitching. There were a couple things that I've been stitching on. At our stitch day, Annie Bees kind of talked me into, and didn't have to talk like too hard, but into stitching 'Tis the Season Blackbird design. I mean, many of you stitched this a long time ago. It was when we got back into, I got back into cross stitching, so maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. It seems like it's got to be longer than that. But anyways, I think I'm just gonna try to use the color silk that I have. And I'm stitching this on 40 count hayseed by, I think this is one of Graham Cracker, Teresa Vanette's. It's either hers or her son's. And just got the tiny little start on our gift exchange day. Just enough to know I like the color. I still have not picked up my This Happy Morning piece yet. I really should do that, but things have been busy. So maybe next week. And then this is Peace on Earth, Shakespeare's Peddler. And the other night I was working on this, and I'm really trying to get the house done this year. And I'm getting pretty close. Got those windows filled in and just have to do a little bit more stitching. So I'll probably keep working on this one. This will definitely be Christmas 2026 piece that I want to do. And then my last one that I worked on, but I didn't get all that far. Stacy Nash Primitives, Gathering the Green Sampler. And I realized I had more to go on this than I thought, but I got like, you know, a little bit further on it. So, kind of working on the elf bit now, just as I have pieces. It's such a pretty one. This was a kit from Country Sampler, so I'm using everything that was in the kit. It's going to be pretty when it's done. Okay, well, that's it for that. As I mentioned, at the end, I will have my decorations in sight. A few of them, I did it yesterday, I can't remember. But very quick, and just to give you an idea of how you can display your cross stitch. Another thing, I have to mention, numerous people were looking for behind me is this beautiful runner that Leanne made for me for my, I was going to say my 40th birthday, but many birthdays past that, but a special one. And so many people, like I had numerous people ask if I knew what the chart was. So when I went shopping Primitive Gatherings, to Country Sampler with Leanne's friend Anne, who I now consider my friend, I asked her about it, and she's like, oh, I think that's one from this quilt shop that, like the shop itself is not open, but the person's still designing. So when I got home, lo and behold, she sent me a picture of the chart, and I will insert a picture of what the chart looks like here. It's a Wisconsin designer. So I looked on her website, and she's got a bunch of things, PDFs and charts, and just really, I love her style. I can see why both Anne and Leanne, liked charts from there. So I went online and I didn't see this. I think it's called Floating Stars Runner. And so I'm like looking through, and I tried emailing her and she didn't answer. So the other day I'm like, I'm just going to call her. And the phone rang, and then she picked up once I started leaving my message. And she said she would gladly add it back to the website. And so I'm thrilled to let you know that it is available for any of those of you who are interested. And I probably will mention it in the next video or two as well, just to make sure that if people are busy during the holidays and don't see this video, that I still will have answered their questions. So I ended up ordering a couple things, 2 PDFs, 1 hard copy, and I'm not going to show them right now because I probably put them away, or haven't printed them up, which is more likely. What else has been going on? Oh, I don't think I told you about this. My granddaughter, and I went to see the Nutcracker. She did it as a thank you for me watching the grandkids for 5 days solo while they went on a trip. And I hadn't seen it since my kids were little, but the costuming and the stage set, as well as the performances, was outstanding. And it's like, I can see why. I have a friend that goes every year, and I'm like, I can see now why she would go every year. It was so good. What else have we been doing? We had them over. While we went to the Nutcracker, then there was a conflict, and my son-in-law was coaching, and so the 2 little boys came and hung out with my husband and watched the abysmal Packer game. And so then we came back, and then we all had dinner, and it was just fun having them around. And then we had they had my son-in-law's work Christmas party, and so we had the kids just for a quick overnight. And we were talking, and I asked each of them, like, what will you remember about me when, or like Christmas time at our house, Grandpa and my house, when you're grown? And right away Jocelyn's like, the decorations, Bobby. She's like, I just can't describe how much I love coming over and seeing, the things that I remember from years past. And she's like, if it's like a Christmas bomb went off. And my husband and I were just laughing. It's like, well, that's probably pretty close to what it's like. Christmas bomb going off. So let's see, what else? I don't know. Like, I feel like things have been busy. Yeah, we were gonna do something like just go away for a night or two, and then it's like, I don't know. Like, my husband mentioned this, and he's like, we should try going to New York at Christmas time sometime. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll rather just save that. On tomorrow, we used to always take the kids to First Stage Christmas play, but they're kind of aging out of it. And for the longest time, they alternated between 4 plays. So I feel like we've seen numerous ones several times. Well, of course, this year they're putting on something new. But I was looking, and we have Lake Geneva Resort is maybe an hour from us, and they have a gingerbread competition. And a couple years ago, we were in Asheville at a resort type hotel who had a gingerbread competition, and it was just unbelievable. So that's what I'm hoping for. We'll go and check it out. I'm thinking there's basketball in the morning, so we'll probably have from maybe noon until The Packers are versus the Bears. um, and our defensive star tore his ACL. So it was a sad week last week. But anyways, so we have to be home for that. My husband already said no ifs, ands, or buts. Then what else? Oh, on Sunday afternoon, I am going to my sister's house with a couple of my other sisters, and we're going to make the family Christmas stollen my mom always made. While I was finishing up in my sewing room, I watched my mandatory White Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life, and Miracle on 34th Street, which that one's not mandatory, but there's a couple others that I always enjoy watching, and it's just like makes the time go by really quickly. Monday we've had a gift card for this nice restaurant chain. I think I won it from work, so it's probably worth maybe half of what it was when I got it, but our son will be home. He's bringing Gary the dog, and someone asked me if I was going to make Gary the dog a stocking, and I'm like, no, but it made me laugh. My husband's still kind of asking for one, but I think he's doing it just to test me rather than really wants one, but we'll see. We'll see how much I miss it. Anyways, I made a reservation, and we're going to like this supper club type place. So I'm like, there were lots of things on the menu that sounded delicious, but the best thing was they have ice cream drinks, so that's what I'd like to focus on. And then Tuesday, we're going to do our small family Christmas. I think German theme. My husband loves the rouladen I make, and so I'm gonna make that, and then maybe some sort of pork roast, or for the kids, and I don't know, just a mishmash of stuff, and use the good dishes, Christmas dishes, use the fancy silverware, like, to me, that's how I was raised, and that's what says I love you to my family. And no judgment if you do chips in the bag and dip from the store, paper plates, that's good too. It's all about being together with family and friends at this time of year, and yeah. So then we'll do Christmas Day at my sister's, and my husband's already itching to get back to the cabin, maybe do some ice fishing. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I really need to get prepping. I trying to keep what I'm making for tonight's get together simple, but there's always work to do. Plus, I'm trying to get the rest of my presents wrapped so I can put away my wrapping station from the dining room table. But in the meantime, please enter for the bag, and I hope you're all really doing well. Have a wonderful holiday season. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, it's just a warm time of year, and let's try to fill the world with love. Thank you for watching. Oh, and thank you for the people who hyped me. I think it does help get my video out to more people, and I really appreciate that. So if you want to hype me again, I would love that even more. I guess you get 3 hypes a week or something like that. I don't know. I don't really know the particulars, but I really do appreciate it, because I love to be able to send things to you guys and just share. I have some other things, if I would have been more organized, that I want to share with you, but we'll save that for next year. So I guess that's all I have to say. Miracle of miracles. So we'll see you in 2026. Oh, I almost forgot to show this. I had mentioned in my last video that I got my parents' nativity set. And right now, I had already decorated for Christmas, and I was trying to find the safest spot with the kids around. So next year, I probably will go somewhere else because this is rather cramped. But I've always loved this set. It's a Hummel set from 1951. And it has, let's see, 2 shepherds, the main trio, Mary, Jesus, and Joseph, and the 3 kings, a cow, a donkey, and I think this lamb is separate. Yep, he's separate. So I am just, this is probably the one thing from my parents' house that I really, really, really wanted. And I'm just so thrilled to have it. It just reminds me of both of them. It was such a special, I remember like my dad would put it, my mom had these shells that were above her built-in wall-length cabinets in the dining room, and he would put it up in the shelf. And it just, it's amazing how fast your life goes, and those special people that they made Christmas so special. And I hope my kids have those kind of memories, my grandkids. But anyways, I promised I would show this, so that's what I'm doing. A little crooked. These are all through the night, those pre-printed panels that you then add some wool and stitching to. Pardon my coat laying there. And this was a cute snowman Leanne made for me. Rustic. Noel by Misty Purcell. And I've yet to do my banister, but here's a Santa I painted years ago. He's probably close to 40 years old now. The Prairie Schooler December, and I made this cute little, well, I didn't really make the fence, but I decorated it to look like a little garland on the fence. And I've shown this one lots of times before. Santa's Mail. These stitches were from a book by Veronique Anginger. And then it's really windy out. Normally these snowflakes are hanging down, but I bet you my husband put them up because the wind's so bad today. And this was a kit, this Prairie Schooler, it's a year. It was a kit from Country Sampler a number of years ago. And I love this wreath. This was a resin Santa I painted for my mom that when we divided up our house, I got back. Merry and Bright, that's a Scarlet house. I just added a little vintage postcard in there. And back to this side, that snowman or Santa, this guy was from a trip we took to like St. Croix or St. Thomas. He was an ornament and the string fell off, so I'm like, oh, we'll just use him standing. And that's a post or a greeting card I got from someone. And this sugar plum is from my friend Myra. I haven't done it yet, but every year she kidded us when she gave them that she wanted to know what we did with them. So usually every year I send her a picture when I put it out. Pretty poinsettia, that was a gift. This is Winter ABCs. Is it Little House Needleworks? And I might have changed my note a little bit. I finally found a good spot to put it. And I just put this little bow and snow and snowflakes on top skate. And here's our Santa, the blow mold. I guess these are getting harder to find because like the blow up ones have taken over. The kids love playing with this. So we have got, I think we have one for each of them. Over the Meadow, JBW Design. And I just have a pomegranate that was my mom's tucked in there. This ornament is going back to my daughter's house. I should stop stitching Christmas, although that's never going to happen. But Joy is a homespun elegance. Santa is Prairie Schooler. It was from the yearly. Those 4 pillows, the skates, snowflake, snowman, and the deer are from a chart called White Christmas. I have the first set of Annie B's pairs, and I used the Aztec red. I did them in 3 different sizes and 3 different fabrics. We ran out of space, so this Santa is sitting in my dad's childhood chair, holding Prairie Schooler. I think it's Christmas Eve. And so I don't forget to show this. I've talked about this. This is the nativity set that was my parents'. And I just received it this year. My brother had it in his attic and they didn't use it. So I am just, I can't tell you how much it means to me to have this. That was probably the one thing that I would have wanted from their house. And it's just here because I got it after I was pretty much decorated, and I didn't want to put it anywhere that the kids would break it. Just some Santa cups, and the flat fold is a pinker and pumpkin freebie that I stitched. And then going up, this is a ceramic piece I made back probably 40 years ago, 41. And I just put this little deer who's had numerous surgeries behind it, because it's like he's looking out the window. I got my Mary Mary back from being framed, and I just love it. I can't tell you how much I love it. And then this is a Santa music box. A beautiful little tabletop quilt that Anna Stitch Rhodey made for me years ago. And I just like to put some greenery and bells and wooden beads on the mirror. And then we turn around and go to my Prairie Schooler rustic tree. I have 4 more that are going on this year. If you see some bare spots, I took one off so I could see how I finished them in the past. But because I didn't have so many the first year, I just found things that kind of were rustic, like the rusty bells, the birch snowflakes. A lot of these ornaments I made during my craft fair days, so I had them left and they were kind of rustic, so I just stuck those on. This little cinnamon stick angel, the crocheted snowflake. I wish I had more of those, but I don't know how to crochet. This guy I started when we were in Boston, which I thought was very fitting. I've also got some French horns, snowflakes on the glass ball, some rusty stars, like kind of cardboard-ish, corrugated cardboard, reindeer heads. This little guy I made years ago, and just some beads, some Santa head ornaments. And then under the tree, I just kind of throw extra things. Oh, and if you don't know about these things, this is the best invention. Like I have every, hold on a second. This is another little one I stitched. I started on the companion one this year, but I never got to it. And then as we go down, this is a Plum Street, a gingerbread girl that I made years ago. I think this is a buttermilk basin. I just save the boxes that I keep the ornaments in, put them under the tree. More hats for the grandkids so they can each have one. The snow pillow was a little wool applique pattern Leanne made for me. And then Waxy Moon Design winter pillows. Those I antique with walnut shells. And I love how they turned out for as much grief as they gave me, because the snowflake colors wouldn't show up. And so finally I figured out what to do, and I actually made a tutorial. If you're ever looking for hints on how to do it yourself, check that out. And then along the window ledge, years ago I bought a couple of these crystal trees, or got some as gifts, and now anytime I see them, like at the thrift store, I buy them. This is a heartstring samplery chart. I left off some of the top. Anything snowflakey, silvery, I have here. And then over the top, I just have some hanging lights that come down. There's the cardinal we had outside, but then he was starting to get damaged, so my husband put him up inside this year. And just a bunch of, anything glass, silver, white. But I love, and then you can see the outside, the real garland. Finally stayed up, although I think now it's uneven. It was just like flapping around in the wind this morning. We're losing our white Christmas snow, but hopefully there'll be a little bit left. And my favorite thing to do is to put these lights on in the morning, and it's, pitch black out, and just sit here with a cup of coffee. It's kind of peaceful. And then we move down to more things that don't fit anywhere. Wintertime, it'll come to me. These were snowmen Leanne and I made. I believe this is Christmas drawn thread. And this is a match holder that I painted. And here is wordplay, Brenda Gervais. These are just some pieces that I think they were from my mother-in-law. And squished back in there is Lizzie Kate, The Four Seasons. This is winter. And this little girl is a doll that I had growing up. Her body is like felt and soft. I think she was from England. I have two of them. And then this elf guy, I always put my Christmas cards in, but Leanne and I made him, or like we each have one, many, many years ago. Then over here we have Christmas Garden, one of my favorites. And this is kind of my memory tree. And if it looks like it doesn't have many lights, you're right. They keep, like, it seems like every few days another strand goes out. So I need to probably just take them all off. It was a pre-lit tree that I added red onto. But, yeah. Just all sorts of memories. This sleigh guy is one of my favorite thrift finds. And then this carved box was a gift from my godson years ago. Here's the Raggedy Andy that I made as a child without any pants. I don't know why. I think I would love if anybody else has these. Please let me know if your guy has pants or not. I mean, it probably was from like a Better Homes and Garden or Family Circle magazine my mom had. And this guy's one of my favorites that I splurged on at the Biltmore when we were there a couple winters ago. And this is my new splurge of the Santa and the Moon. I just can't ever leave him go. That was from the Y2K. And here's another one my godson gave me. He's also one of my favorites. And we go over to the buffet. I'm going to talk about this runner separately in the video, but it was one that Leanne made me for my birthday. Wonderful Life, Stacy Nash Primitives. A Rustic Santa, I found thrifting. Just have a garland and some beads and berries. This guy is one of my favorite painted Santas that I did. And this little, I think it's, you know, kind of like supposed to be Tiny Tim because he has a crutch. And that was from ceramics years ago. This was a resin piece that I painted. Oh, Christmas tree, one of my favorites. Christmas, whatever it is. I've said it before. And that's another homespun elegance. Yes, Virginia, using country samplers conversion. And just another tree to add some height there. And then the other thing I like doing is down by the, on the doors, I just add on fishing line some wreaths to add some warmth down there. So one of my favorite spots. This is another hodgepodge that I just put extra stuff on. This was a pillow Leanne stitched half of, and then I finished the rest of the stitching and did the finishing. It's a Brenda Gervais. The trunk I keep stitch Christmas things in. And Frosty's Night, I think. Plum Street. There's the trees on both sides. I kind of changed the chart to fit in there. Another Santa. And then another little side table that I put the odds and ends on. This was a thrift piece I found. I was going to just use the frame, and then I thought, no, I'm going to leave it. Some snowflakes that I put some battery candles in. And of course, Winter Rose Manor, Brenda Gervais. And then I try to do different things on my bookcase, although I always hang the stockings there. That ball was something that my mom had. And Prairie Schooler on the tree with the homemade Santa hat. Up on the right corner is a cookie jar that I thrifted. This Santa was a gift one year. This sleigh guy was a thrifted find. The star's off his tree, but you can't even see it with him being up high. Plum Street, that one, and another Scarlet House. And these stockings were from Kirkland's. Like, I think they were on sale in spring for like 99 cents, but they work well with the colors in here. And then, well, I'm sorry it's not blooming right now, but my Thanksgiving cactus has been blooming quite a bit lately. I received it years ago as a gift from a friend. And then just a whimsical, I think it's a Fitz and Floyd snowman. And then down here, just fill in with a Santa I made who has popcorn garland and another box that looks like a book and a poinsettia. I try to keep my chandelier just a little something, but you know, did you see the mess in there? You know, it looks like it's falling down. The kids have been here for a couple meals, so there might be juggling going on. This frame, someday I hope to have a stitch piece in. It's probably, I don't know, at least 100 years old. It had somebody's like 8th grade graduation certificate in it, and I never really had anything. So years ago, Ben Franklin would give away these prints when you spent a certain amount of money. So I've just stuck that in there. But I love the frame, and I really hope to stitch something that'll fit in there. This is the little area that's right behind my stove, little niche. And I think this ceramic Santa, maybe I got it at a thrift store. I painted the toy one. The breadboard I got as a shower gift from my mom's friend who was Irish, and she had Irish soda bread on it, and it was an antique, and gave me the recipe. And then this, I just have a little vignette. Oh, I see. The little girl gets pushed around quite a bit. But kind of gingerbread things. Gingerbread Santa I made. Leanne painted the crock. We made these like inedible. Well, I mean, they wouldn't kill you if you ate them because our dog ate them years ago. But gingerbread cookies. And then you see all our junk out the window. But these are 2 ornaments that my mom always had on her tree. And a little patchwork quilt she had. And then, I don't know if you can even see that, but it's a cookie cutter on burlap in a frame. And a cookie cutter infant of prop. Over my microwave, I just put some more of the Santa mugs. And I always put garland and lights and ornaments up on top. And then this is another area that I have space above the cabinets, and so I just put some more greenery and lights up there. This goose is over a door, and as you can see, 1988, one we did in our painting classes. And then this was a gift, the chart from Kathy to Dye House. I think it's called Candy Cane something. And I love that it fits in this spot. I found a tree holder. It's perfect for it. Over to this glass cabinet. I'll open it up so we don't get the glare. But I mostly just have painted the 2 children. That's a resin one in the back. On this side is another ceramic one. The candle was my mother-in-law's. Nick in the box really is my son's, but I love it so much. And he hasn't decorated as much the last couple of years, so I know someday it will go to him, but for now, I still get to enjoy it. And then these are new this year. These were prairie schoolers, like they had a series of them released one a year. And so I finished that one in 2023 and then 2019. And I'll show you little gingerbread girl that I have hanging. And let's see if we go to the other side. I have one more. And I have a frame and actually have started the other one. And this was a prairie schooler one that I bought at a craft fair years ago. Then just on the side, I have this wild angel that I made. We always hang these bright lights over the patio door. Our hibiscus comes in for the winter and it's flowering right now. Here's Miss Piggy, or I don't know if it's Miss Piggy, I guess it's Santa. But we lost the hat, but I found this hat. I think it belonged to a snowman. And I know that's crooked, so please excuse it. Something I painted years ago. And this is my snowman tree. So it is full to the brim. And I tuck it behind our couch. And goes all the way up. But I love it. And then these are like snowman things that I didn't have a good spot for, so they're just kind of tucked under there. And then I just hang things up in here, existing nails, so this does not look the best, but this is Candy Cane Lane, Brenda Gervais, Baby It's Cold Outside, Heartstring Sampler, Little House Needleworks, I think. Teresa Kogut. This one almost killed me, but I'm so glad I have it. And this one I bought at a craft fair. A Sue Hillis. And I just kind of redecorated these recesses all through the night. I always called these guys the triplets. Jack, Harry, and Henry, but I couldn't tell you which is which. These are the bookshelves on either side of the fireplace. This guy is another one of my favorites. Another Santa candle that was my mother-in-law's. Christmas time. Oh, and I've talked about this guy. He was my grandma's friend, let us take an elephant from her house, and I asked for that one, and my mom was rather embarrassed because the rest of them were like small, realistic looking elephants that were like 2 to 3 inches. But I love that guy, and he still means so much to me. And then just getting up pretty high, brass bin. And then I've got green coat Santa on the menu on the mantle. Thanks so much, Margot. She had abandoned him, and I picked him up and just, he was still a lot of stitching, but I'm so glad I stitched him. He's really cute. And just have a garland and lots of glitz. And then the TV blocks out the bottom 2 shelves, so I just decorate the top ones. But they're like some snowmen I had painted, and others were soft sculpture ones from my craft fair days. The one on the bottom shelf right, Leanne made me. I've got a Rudolph book that's pretty old. I don't think you can really see it that well. There's glare, but there's a picture in the back to the left of the bear on the chair, and that was my cousin who passed away. The Snow Couple Season's Greeting was from painting class. Frosty on the top shelf towards the middle with the shiny brights behind him is a music box. So if you turn his nose, he plays Frosty the Snowman. So lots of things with memories. That's how I love to decorate. I don't, jump on the latest trends. I have things that have meaning to me, and that's what I enjoy. And you can't forget the powder room. That's a Brenda Gervais. And then just a few little decorations down there.